What's up, everybody? Welcome to the ABNC show. My name is Zane Hoshman. I'm joined by, as always, Josh Sharp. Josh, how you doing, man?
What's up? The new Jonas Brothers song slaps.
I mean, we were off last week, so I'm pretty sure we would have been going on about this last week. But freaking
True.
Josh, what Josh
Hey man, I, I got a sore
Postalas?
throat, man.
I gave him some soup, guys. I gave him some soup.
No,
It,
fuck your stupid Civil War is better than BVS soup. That shit doesn't exist because it's
it.
not real.
Hey, to be fair, didn't you feel better after I sent you the picture?
No, I actually felt worse. I actually felt much worse. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to bed because no,
It did help,
that shit
guys.
does this shit doesn't exist, man. Nope.
My chair is being very squeaky today, so I'm not farting, guys. Just letting you know.
He's
It's
farting. He's trying to pretend like he's not because he wants to.
my chair is going out on me, but I'm a cheap bastard, so I'm not getting rid of it.
Oof.
Uh,
Honestly, dude, like my chair squeaks too. Like, listen to this shit. Hopefully you can hear it. Listen to this. Wait, you hear that?
I can hear it, but mine sounds like genuine farts. Like, hang on, I'm just swiveling, and it just sounds like
All
really
right.
bad gas or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I need a new chair badly.
yeah, I mean,
But I set up a GoFundMe to get me a DX racer or some shit. I'm just kidding.
the
I'm not gonna
GoFundMe
do
will
that.
be in the description.
Yeah, right.
So let's get into it. A little movie opened up this weekend. Not a lot of controversy. I think
Yeah,
uh,
no, not a lot of controversy at all.
no
Nothing.
controversy. I mean, just open. The people thought it was gonna bomb, but it kind of did with 155 million opening weekend, 450 worldwide opening, 450 million dollars worldwide. Um, Such a bomb, unfortunately. Uh, Captain Marvel.
That's actually BVS like opening weekend money because BVS made that kind of money
It
opening
did.
weekend.
It did.
Yep.
But I'm sure we'll get into that later. But Captain Marvel. So the way we've never done this before, so the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna give like a quick, non-spoiler, just tell you guys how we felt about the movie for those who haven't seen it. Then there will be a spoiler warning on the screen to let you know when we're gonna be talking about spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, we have other topics we're gonna talk about in the show. So you can just jump to those. So for
So
now,
stick around.
stick around. Just check the link in the description. You could see time codes and all that. So Josh, quick non-spoiler thoughts of Captain Marvel.
It was better than I thought it was going to be. Like I'm not really one who kind of like takes other people's opinion of a movie and basically turning it into my own. I like to think for myself, which a lot
Mhm.
of people should do. A lot of people don't do that. They'd be like, "Oh, this person said this movie's bad, so it's bad." Like, no, go watch the movie for yourself,
Right.
form your own opinion. Don't piggyback off somebody else's just
Mhm.
because that's like how you want the movie to be. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I watched it yesterday. Um, I guess I'll start with a negative. I don't think Brie Larson did a very good job in the movie. Her performance came off as wooden at times. But the thing is like her. I guess it's not like her acting ability is bad. I think it's just the way the character is written in the movie.
Mhm.
Like sometimes she comes across as like super stoic and kind of an asshole, and then she plays like this aloof character, and then she goes back to being just like cold and just lifeless. Like there are a couple of sequences in the film where Carol Danvers is supposed to show some like emotion, and like you could tell like Brie Larson was like trying to get it out, but it just was not coming out at all. And I was just like, I don't like this. Um, but I will say that her dynamic between her and Nick Fury was great. I loved those scenes, like when they were in the that little dive bar. I thought that was a really good scene.
Right.
When they were in that military facility, doing some stuff, digging around. Like I thought that was a great scene as well. But yeah, all of their scenes together, I thought were really well done. I think Ben Mendelsohn, who played a Skrull in the film, I thought he did a fantastic job. He was actually one of my favorite characters in
Oh,
the film.
so I totally agree.
Yeah, he was great. Trying to think of Jude Law as Yon-Rogg. I think I mean,
He was fine.
he was fine. He
Yeah.
was fine. I don't really have any complaints, but I also don't have anything to like overly praise his portrayal.
Mhm.
Or let's see. I'm trying to think of what else. Fuck the cat. We'll get into that
What?
in the
Okay, we'll get there.
spoilers. we'll get into spoiler details why
Right.
I said that. Let's see what else. I mean, like I thought it was a decent film. I thought it was a decent origin movie.
Hmm.
Um, I don't like the fact that like she like mastered the ability of flight within like zero point 0.2 seconds. I thought that was a little strange. There were some continuity issues, or at least I think there were some continuity
Yeah,
issues.
we'll get into that into spoilers because
Yeah,
I saw this movie.
regarding
I saw this movie
Hmm?
twice over the weekend, and like the first time I was like, "Doesn't that retcon something?" And then like I kind of looked it up afterwards. I was like, "Oh no, never mind. It does." Like we'll get into that in the spoiler section.
Okay, yeah. There's a particular item in the film that kind
Right.
of like
We'll get there. We'll get there.
makes you scratch your head.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I said, like you said, we'll get to it. I gave the movie like a 6.8.
Mhm.
It's not bad, but it's not amazing. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. If I were to like rank it in the MCU films, I would probably put it somewhere like
In the middle.
in between like Iron Man 2 and like the first Thor.
Mhm.
You know, it's just like one of those. It felt like one of those kind of films.
Right.
But it's not bad.
Mhm.
There's enjoyment to be had. So if you are like kind of on the fence about watching the movie, I would say just go for it. Sit
Mhm.
down, get a bucket of popcorn, go with your friends, go with your girlfriend, all that good stuff. Have a good time. But yeah, that's my spoiler free thoughts.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a varying, uh, conversation. I really dug this movie. I thought the first 20 minutes were very wobbly though, like very like not great. The first 20 minutes were almost awful, I'd say.
Jumping all over the place.
Jumping all over the place.
I will agree.
Yeah, like the beginning, it did not start off strong. I was like, oh, okay. Going into negatives, I thought the CGI was a bit all over the place. Like in some shots, it looked fantastic. Like the de-aging looks
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal. And you could,
Except on Clark Gregg, he had a bad case of rubber face.
yeah,
in my opinion.
But he's used.
Maybe it's because he's white, I don't know.
Yeah, he's used very minimally, so it didn't really bother him. But you can notice in some cases it looked like he had like extra makeup on or something. But he wasn't. He's only in the movie. He has a very small role in the movie. But you could tell the VFX budget went onto Sam Jackson because there's some questionable CGI moments in this movie, especially towards
Are
the
you
end.
talking? Yeah,
Look-
when she's falling and it just looks like she's standing like next to a
But
green
it's not.
screen.
Yeah, but it's not Justice League bad. It's still pretty. Like it's weird coming from Thanos, like the studio who literally gave life to Thanos, like this awesome visual effect, and to jump into this, I get like the budgets are different and all that, but a movie like Ant-Man had better CGI than this, which is weird to say, but besides the first 20 minutes and besides the CGI, I got this like Guardians of the Galaxy like feel to it. Like I had
Really?
yeah,
Like the first Guardians?
like the first one. Like I didn't enjoy this movie as much as Guardians one. I just got that vibe. It was like this fun camaraderie between Brie Larson and Sam Jackson. I thought she was fine, by the way. I thought I don't know what I don't see what people mean by she was really boring, but that's how the character was kind of how she was. She was this person who had no memory, who literally is just trying to figure out what happened to her, kind of thing. And I just really dug that. Plus, this is an origin movie. I mean, there's no oversaying that. It's an origin movie.
Mhm.
The first Thor movie didn't have that great of a response. It had good response, but not great. Captain America's first movie, good response, not great. Captain Marvel's movie, good but not great.
By the way, Captain America: The First Avenger, underrated MCU.
I agree, totally
love
agree.
that movie.
I love that movie too. It's probably my favorite Phase 1 movie out of the Avengers, probably. But
better than Iron Man? You think it's better than Iron Man?
it's up there. I don't know though. But that's a whole nother.
I give the slight edge to Iron Man over Captain America. Like
I'd probably have to flip though. It says flip flop. Like
No.
one day I'll say Captain America, then the other I'll say Iron Man. So I mean, but you get my point.
Yeah.
I think we're off to a good start with the character, and it's only going to get better from here. I think because this was literally just laying the groundwork. We're going to see her in a couple months in the hands of the Russo brothers for Avengers
Next
Endgame.
month.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What did I say? A couple months?
Yeah,
Oh
next
Jesus,
month.
we're
Yeah.
so close to Endgame. We're gonna see her enhance the guys who literally made Black Widow a badass, who made Black Panther and
Eh.
Spider Man a badass, who made Thanos a badass. Like literally, they'll be handling Captain Marvel the next time we see her. So I feel like she's only gonna get better from here. I thought the story was fine. I thought it was pretty basic. I like the Jason Bourne-ish vibes, like trying to figure out who she was on Earth. And it's not perfect. Obviously, there's some problems, and we'd get there and we'd get to that in the spoiler discussion. But I guess out of a score out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8.
What?
Yeah, I mean, like, I had fun with it. I really did. Like,
That's a really high score.
I mean, I really had fun with this movie, and I know this kind of in this small circle of online, nerd culture, it's getting some mixed reception. But I had a pretty like fun audience, and that kind of also may have, skewed my enjoyment of the film because almost every single joke landed. So it was fun to laugh along with the audience. Just like kind of there's some cool twists and turns that happen throughout the story that I did not see coming, and I thought were pretty interesting. Sure, some of the action was a bit wobbly. Sure, some of the dialogue could have been punched up.
Touched up, you mean?
Touched up, punched up, whatever.
Well, the thing is, that something that I found out is the script was written by 5 people,
I mean, that's not.
and it kind of shows because she felt like a very inconsistent character. Like I mentioned before, like some scenes that she would be, she would kind of have like this. You remember how Diana was in Wonder Woman, where she was like kind of like oblivious and stuff like that. Like she had scenes like that, and then there'd be scenes where she was just like, I don't know who I am. Like that's like some weird shit. But the fact that me knowing that the script was written by 5 people, it makes sense why her, I don't know, her attitude or her way that she was portrayed was like different because you had all these hands in the pot.
But to be fair, I mean, I think you and I could both agree she's off to a decent start, and it's only gonna get hopefully better from here.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
And me personally, I think it would be better if they're probably gonna do a sequel at this point. Probably get somebody else to do the script and the directing. I think, to be perfectly honest with you, but I wouldn't be mad if they came back. The directors, going blank on the name, but I know it was 2 of them. They've done some pretty great films in the past. But yeah, overall, I just really dug it. I dug the music. I dug the third act quite a bit, despite wobbly CGI. I dug the twists, the turns. I loved Monica and Maria Rambeau a lot, and Sam Jack. Like, yeah, I just really dug the movie, man.
You know something I really liked about the movie, like this was a Nick Fury before he had to deal with like a bunch of shit, so he was more like lighthearted.
He was this was a totally different side of Nick Fury we haven't seen, and I kind of like that.
I really liked it, and I didn't think that I would, or actually I didn't really think about it at all when I went into the movie. I figured it'd just be typical Nick Fury, but as I'm watching the movie, I was just like, this is a different Nick Fury. Like this is before he was betrayed, before like all this other whatever else happened in his life happened. Like he's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just a guy. Like we're beginning to see this movie fills in a lot of holes, like chronologically, like in the MCU timeline. This really starts to, fill in the gaps a little bit, and we'll get there in the spoiler review. So again,
wait, can we just talk about that opening with the Marvel logo?
Yeah, I
that they did for Stanley?
love that.
I loved it so much.
It was perfect. We'll get into his cameo in the spoiler review, but the cameo was also perfect. Probably out of in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's probably my favorite Stan Lee cameo. Probably because of the on the nose, like just tip to the hat to the fans. So that's our quick non-spoiler discussion. Unless you wanted to add anything else non-spoilery.
No.
Before we get to spoilers. All right.
Sound the alarm. Woo!
Sound the alarm. You see it on the screen. Spoiler alert. If you have not seen Captain Marvel, or if you don't care, or whatever, get out of here, or just click the link or just go to the description. You'll see time codes. Just jump to the next story.
Or if you don't give a damn about spoilers, then by all means,
if you don't give a damn about spoilers. So
Fuck
spoiler.
the cat.
Fuck. Yeah, all right. So I guess
Fuck the cat.
you'll start it. Let's go. Spoilers.
Yeah, fuck that cat. Fuck that stupid cat for being the reason why Nick Fury lost his eye. Like, he literally holds up the cat, and the cat scratches his eye out. The only reason why I hate it so much is, one, it was played for laughs. I think that was really stupid. And two, there's a, and I'm pretty sure you know this. There's a moment in Captain America: The Winter Soldier where Cap's talking to Fury, and he was just like, "Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye." Like, it. Just that line alone, like, made you wonder, okay, what did he go through? Like, who did he trust that caused him to be so, what makes him so hard to trust people?
Yeah.
Because there's one thing in the MCU that you've noticed is Nick Fury has a very hard time trusting people, and we never knew why.
Yes.
And you'd expect at some point, like, maybe we'd figure out, again, like, maybe him losing his eye was a reason for that. Because, I mean, someone betrayed me and lost an eye, and I lost an eye because of it, I would be very reluctant to trust people. Nope, a fucking space cat scratches his eye, and then the next scene, they're like, "Oh, how's your eye doing?" He was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's fine, I'll be good." And then in the post-credit scene, he has a fucking eye patch on. It's just like, so clearly it wasn't okay. I don't like that scene at all.
I
really don't.
I get it was played for laughs, but I kind of liked it, to be honest. Because,
why?
I don't know. I thought, I exactly, like, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, this is how he loses an eye. But again, it comes down to the, like, audience. Everybody loved that moment when he lost his eye. Everybody was like, ooh, like, and then, like, just laughing at it. So
nobody in my theater laughed.
Oh, really?
Nobody laughed.
Oh, that sucks. But I thought, it's typical of Nick Fury to lie about what happened and to kind of, like, that's true. Like, he did say the words he said. Last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye. He loved that cat, man. He loved that cat. So for him to portray him like that, it was pretty funny. And I get it was played. I thought, it could. I mean, I liked it.
I think it was so weak. I hated that scene. I was like, that's so dumb. I was like, whatever, dude. And now that's freaking canon now. Like, oh canon. Yeah, Nick Fury lost his eye to a space cat.
A flurkin.
A fucking cat, man.
It's a flurkin.
I'm sorry, a cat with, like, fucking... He has, like, pockets of reality in his fucking stomach or something. I don't know, man. I hate that.
Also,
I hate that. I hope I never see that cat again. And I guarantee you that that's probably not going to be the case, because that cat will show up again.
Yeah, because the cat was a scene stealer.
No, the fuck it wasn't!
Dude, the cat was awesome!
Keep saying that the cat was a scene stealer?
The cat was awesome! Holy shit!
Not in the slightest! There was nothing, like, remote... Like, yeah, sure, the cat was cute. Big whoop. What else does the cat have?
He's flirking.
That does nothing. You saying that does nothing for me.
But, like,
I don't understand why people are saying the cat is the scene stealer when the cat doesn't do anything except one of the dumbest things in the movie, if not the dumbest thing in the movie.
I do want to mention one thing, and this is kind of going up top. Probably one of the bigger gasps in the movie was when the Tesseract shows up.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what when we were talking non-spoilers, was that the thing you were confused about, like, timeline?
Yeah, because at the end of the first Avenger, Captain America, while they're looking for Steve, Howard Stark finds the Tesseract at the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
And then he begins to study it, and that's probably what leads to him creating the arc reactor. That's just my own personal opinion.
Right.
How in the world did Captain Marvel, who was a female in this movie, by the way, I know some people were mad about that.
I didn't care.
The only reason why people are mad about that is because it kind of erases any potential for any of Captain Marvel's children, because apparently he has kids. I'm not well versed in Captain Marvel knowledge at all. This movie was my first introduction to the character. I've heard about her, and I know about her, like, her history, her origin, her powers, all that stuff. But, like, I had never picked up a comic. I hadn't seen any of the animated Marvel shows where she was in it or anything like that. This was, like, my first introduction. But I'm going off topic.
Right.
Yeah, the Tesseract, Captain Marvel somehow gains shield level security to grab the Tesseract and take it off world to her little space station, where she's using it as a, like, scroll teleporter type thing.
Right.
That makes no sense to me.
So now I'm just I had the information on my phone and I lost it. So if I remember correctly, and it tied directly into the first Avengers. So not Captain America, the first Avenger, the first Avengers movie. Uh, when Nick Fury arrives in the opening of the movie, he arrives at the Shield base, right? And the building, the project was known as Project Pegasus, which is also what the project of this whole this whole light speed travel that Marvel was trying to crack. It was called why am I going blank on the name? Project Pegasus. So apparently Marvel did have Shield clearance. She apparently did, and Shield kept the
But she
name.
didn't work with Shield.
She didn't work with Shield, but
She was working on like an Air Force base.
she was working on Air Force Base, but she was not working with Shield directly, but working like kind of covert, which is why Shield ended up keeping the name Project Pegasus and all that. Which is why Shield did eventually get clearance for in that base where Sam Jackson and where Nick Fury, sorry, and Carol Danvers were when they were trying to look up information on Project Pegasus at that base.
The issue that I have with that is I highly doubt whatever kind of clearance you have that Shield would allow you to take the Tesseract, arguably the most at that time the most powerful power source on the planet, to take it away from the base, take it all the way to outer space, and work on it there. Like I
feel like she
that.
did. I feel like she did the whole outer space, put the Tesseract into outer space thing like by herself. She didn't, like, as far as Shield was concerned, it was still on the base, but she did it by herself.
You don't think that they would have monitored the Tesseract since they knew what kind of damage it could do? Because I'm pretty sure Captain America told them, or just by Howard Stark working on it alone at the end of Captain America: The First Avenger, they know how much power that thing holds. They know that thing is an extremely deadly weapon, essentially a WMD. Why in the world would they allow anyone to? Hamed just went online. Oh my gosh!
Oh no!
Why? How in the world would they allow anyone to just freely take it, even if she stole it? That's even like I don't buy that. I just don't.
I mean, yeah,
I don't buy that at all.
I mean, you got a point, but again, when I saw that thing, and I lost it, so I apologize. I was like, oh, okay. But I'm just going off the top of my head that she and Shield were working together and all that, but it was really kind of in there. Yeah. Wow. What else is there? Spoiler discussion wise.
Well, I mean, I already mentioned the fact that we already mentioned the fact that Captain the first Marvel, which is in the comics, the original Captain Marvel, who was a male, was changed into a female. I saw some people like getting real mad about that. I didn't really care. Honestly,
yeah, I didn't care
I'm
either.
Just like, all right, whatever. But I guess one thing that we can talk about.
Oh, the Skrulls.
Apparently, the Skrulls are good guys.
Hey, I actually did not see that coming. And to be fair,
I didn't because it's stupid.
No, because number one, somewhere down the line, we know the Skrulls will be back. They're too rich of characters to just be one and done. They're gonna come back, and that will create some great like chemistry between like whoever is the one that's revolting, say for a quote unquote secret invasion. Obviously, the friendly Skrulls will have trouble with that, and there will be a all-out Skrull war, and Captain Marvel will be in the middle of it. And I feel like that's where they're going to go post-Endgame, and with their character further down, is going to be like this full secretive invasion war, Skrull versus Skrulls, Carol Danvers in the middle. This was just to like kind of to get you to like the Skrulls, so when you eventually have to hate them, it will kind of break your heart.
I mean, that does make sense. But like, I don't know. It definitely did. Oh, there's Hamed. Hey, man.
Yo, my bad. I took a little power nap there.
Yeah, that was a little bit more than a power nap, buddy. Yeah, we're literally in the middle of recording right now, and we're talking about.
You're on air, Hamed.
Yeah.
Oops. Oh God.
So for those who don't know, Hamed was supposed to join us on the show at the very beginning. And he fell asleep when we were supposed to start recording.
I did. No. Let's clarify. For those of you dropping in, I am currently in Cairo. It is 5:08 a.m. I was supposed to be up maybe 45 minutes ago. I actually ended up waking up at at the appropriate time, but I decided to take a little power nap. and it took a while. So I'm very sorry.
Well, all right. Let's get back to
So-
the Captain Marvel.
A spoiler
Captain Marvel,
review. Actually, Hamid, I'll give the panel to you. I just want to hear your quick thoughts on Captain Marvel, and then we'll continue with the spoiler discussion. I just want to get your thoughts before we continue.
Okay, all right. I thought it was pretty good. The movie itself was good. I mean, I would put it in my top 10.
Mhm.
No, listen. Let me keep going because I know you would react like that. I know you would react like that. It would go in my top 10 out of 22 movies. Like, I don't say that's how good it was, but it wouldn't be like, high up on my list. We're talking like maybe number 7, number 8, on that top 10. I thought she was a really great character. I thought going into the movie, a lot of people were saying like, it wasn't going to be that good. A lot of people were saying that, she was wooden in her role, as she didn't really show any emotion. And actually, I thought that was wrong. I thought she was fantastic in her movie.
Yeah, I thought she was great too.
Her
I
acting,
guess I'm the
her
only one
acting-
here that saw it. All right.
Well,
I
to
mean,
be
no,
fair,
there
she was a
were-
brainwashed. She was a brainwashed, like, assassin for the bad guys, essentially. Like,
Right. I mean, going into the end of the movie, she looked pretty badass. Like, she showed a lot of emotion, right? When she realized, that the Kree were basically holding her back.
mhm. And she was lied to.
See, I didn't see that because, like, this is what I mentioned earlier. Is there were a couple of scenes like when she was supposed to show emotion, like whether it's heartbreak or surprise, and like I just didn't see it. Like,
Oh,
I'm looking at her
I
face,
bought
I'm
it.
just like, this is not. I don't buy this.
I bought it like
did
the
not
moment
buy
when
it.
she learned the truth about what really happened, and when she steps out of the house. I really bought her performance.
Because it looked like she was trying to act, and
I didn't see that
I'm
at
not
all.
someone who's well versed on acting, but you shouldn't. I don't think you should be looking like you're trying to act, or you're look like you're trying to show emotion. Just do it. And like I didn't get that from her at all. In those scenes.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that she did a shit job. I'm not saying that she was a horrible Captain Marvel or Carol Danvers. I'm not saying that. Those scenes when she was supposed to show emotion, and then like a couple of other scenes throughout the film, I was just like, I felt like she was trying too hard. I'm like, you're an Oscar-winning actress, like, act like it. So,
No, I mean, like, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, this movie had a specific vibe. I don't know if you guys noticed, and a lot of people are complaining about this, I think. A lot of people were saying this movie was too giddy, like it was too colorful.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, the vibe I mentioned
mean-
earlier was that I got
It
the
was-
Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to it, and I loved.
Exactly.
I love the vibe.
That's exactly what one of my friends was telling me. Somebody that I wanted to watch the movie with on opening night. He said it was a little too giddy for him. Like, it wasn't to the point where he didn't like it, but he said it reminded him of Guardians of the Galaxy. And to him, it felt like Captain Marvel shouldn't have been like that. It felt like,
For
he
me,
said, Guardians of the Galaxy is the color of the MCU, and nothing else should be like competing for that spot. And he just said it was too giddy. Like, he just didn't really like the vibe he was giving off. But at the same time, he said it wasn't good for the movie. Like,
at least
he thought it was suitable.
Damn
You
it.
know what I mean?
I might
At
be
least-
cutting
at
out
least-
Josh.
at least for me, I would say the movie's tone reminded me of Green Lantern. Not saying it was Green Lantern bad.
That is a hot take.
That's a hot
That
take,
is
yeah.
a hot take.
I'm not saying it was Green Lantern bad. We all know Green Lantern was trash. Like, I'm the biggest DC fan here, and I'll say that. I'll say
It
that any
was.
day of the week. The movie was awful.
It's an
but in
atrocious
terms
movie.
The
of
walking was fine. It was just
but the term what?
No, go ahead.
We're cutting off
I'm like,
Josh
yeah,
too much.
Yeah, just in terms of like the vibe that I got from the movie, like all like the space stuff. They're having like this essential space police
Mhm.
with the Kree and
To be fair,
like,
to be fair, their characters are not that far off, or comics origin wise.
I'm
Speaking of comics origin, are we heading into spoilers yet? Or are we
We're in the
just
spoilers.
leaving
We're in
it
spoilers. We're in spoilers.
Okay, all right. Something that really doesn't sit right with me as an MCU fan and as a comic book fan, kind of. At first, I just said it was a comic book fan, but now that I'm thinking of it, as an MCU fan, it's not that great. Also, the Skrulls.
We were just talking
Okay,
about that. We were just talking about that.
it's as a movie, like it was a very nice plot twist. Okay, seeing the Skrulls, being quote unquote good guys, being an analogy for immigrants and all that stuff. But as an MCU fan, honestly, this should bother people.
Hang on.
I think.
Let me time out there. I'm going to repeat exactly what I just said, like moments before you came in to the show.
Okay.
Kevin Feige knows he's going to use the Skrulls again. He knows this.
But okay, yes, okay, I understand. But to introduce the Skrulls as quote unquote good people, like I was saying before, and then using them again for a possible secret invasion movie, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
But now think about this.
Unless because I didn't like it either, so I'm totally with you on that. I guess in my head I'm thinking, okay, if they are gonna do secret invasion, they're gonna have to do a little bit of, I don't know, something to make the Skrulls bad guys. I'm thinking Super Skrull's gonna come around and he's just gonna turn every Skrull into an asshole or something like that, or he's gonna be like, oh hey, look.
But that doesn't make a lot of sense.
By the time we get to Secret Invasion, this movie's set in 1995. It will be almost 30 years before a Secret Invasion. So basically, what I was saying earlier is like, we know the Skrulls. What if somebody's like I like the theory floating around that Talos's daughter is the one that starts up this Secret Invasion, because and basically right. you create this conflict between Talos and her daughter, and eventually maybe I think the theory said that the daughter kills Talos or something like that, but that's not important. But you create this rift between Talos and whoever he was close with, this person who ends up starting the Secret Invasion. And it's basically Skrulls versus Skrulls. Captain Marvel's in the middle of it. And I think that's exactly where they're going to go in Captain Marvel 2 or whatever, or the future of the MCU.
Okay, all right. For starters, that wouldn't be like a bad idea. But a couple things come to mind here. One, this movie, like you said, it takes place in 1995. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's 2019 now. Let's go ahead and say 2020, a couple years in the future after Endgame, maybe right. In time for the Secret Invasion movie, Captain Marvel 2, whatever it is. What would make the Skrulls go bad after being a group of people that are just trying to look for a home? What makes them go bad? And assuming that Captain Marvel is literally in space for, 20 years, maybe 20-ish, 25 years? Mm-hmm. Looking for a home, because she doesn't come back to Earth until 2019, obviously. Like as
24 years. I was born
yeah, 24. Yeah, 24 years. 24 years into the future, obviously, as we saw in the post-credit scene. I can't really see the Skrulls going bad after the way that they were portrayed in the movie.
Right. To be fair,
like I said, I literally remember walking out of the theater, and I'm like, I do read some comic books, but I'm not like a hardcore fanatic. I remember the first thing I did, I went to one of our workmates, Alex Batts. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure he's been on the podcast yet or not. And I remember I asked him, have the Skrulls ever been quote unquote good in the comics? And he said not to his knowledge. And I honestly went and Googled it, and no, I don't think they have.
But here's the thing: there's a whole bunch of other Skrulls out there besides the ones we've seen. And
yes, I understand. Every alien race, or technically every species, has its good and bad. Mm-hmm. But the group of people, I just felt like you could have made the Skrulls at least a little bit evil in this movie. I know they're a very small group of people. I know that there's a lot more out there. So, like I said, they are a pretty good group of people. But like I said, as an MCU fan, it worked extremely well for that movie. Mm-hmm. But for the entire cinematic universe, I just can't see it being like a good move. You know what I mean?
A great writer can change anything. Can change everything.
I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm pretty sure it will happen. But like I said, as an MCU fan, I would have preferred the Skrulls staying in their their natural,
right,
natural way, like natural ways. Yeah, in the natural orders, basically in the MCU.
And also, what you have to remember is that the Skrulls, their beef was with the Kree, not humans. So why would they just randomly change all of a sudden? I just don't.
I mean,
because that, like I was just saying, it's our natural order of things to infiltrate Earth or infiltrate planets. shapeshift into, important people's positions. And then when that planet is vulnerable, they'll go ahead and invade it. Right now, I would pretty much call Earth vulnerable, actually. I would actually call everything in the universe vulnerable.
Mhm.
Half of life just got, decimated out of existence.
Maybe half of Skrulls also got decimated too, and maybe
Okay.
there was another theory I saw floating around too. This one I kind of liked a lot. Is that since half the Skrulls dusted too, they were looking for where the energy pulse came from that literally eradicated half the universe. This one energy pulse like destroyed half of all life, and they know that it came from Earth. I do like that theory that's been floating around, and maybe that's their motive to go to Earth.
Okay. That makes sense. But
Mhm.
like, if they do the research, which I'm pretty sure they will, they're gonna find out that it's gonna be someone from Titan
Mhm.
that had the energy pulse. Not just because it was on Earth does not mean it'll come from Earth.
Yeah,
It'll
they
just feel
literally
like
saw that with the
it'll
Facebook
yeah
conversation.
Right.
it'll feel like a cheap excuse if that's the route they'll go. You know what I mean? They'll just
True.
do anything just to have that secret invasion. But I do like the theory. Like it's very interesting.
Right. So I do want to get we talked a lot about the Skrulls. I do want to get your guys' thoughts on the post credit scene. Not the second one, the first
Okay.
one.
I'm not talking about the
first one.
shitty ass second one.
Okay, hold on.
Fuck the
It
cat,
was-
Ahmed. Fuck the cat.
Look, technically, it isn't a cat. I mean, a lot of
Oh my
people.
God.
Listen. A lot of people are really bothered by the cat. I understand. And people are saying, Nick Fury should have lost his eye to a damn cat. Whatever it is. The cat swallowed a tesseract, but you're not even supposed to touch a tesseract. All that stuff. People are literally overlooking the fact that that cat is not a cat. It is a flurkin. It is a powerful alien to the point where it scared the Skrulls, which are supposed to be one of the scariest species in the universe. I'm pretty sure a damn cat can make a human man, lose his eye. I'm pretty sure a damn cat can swallow an Infinity Stone.
And he
Yeah,
did.
but like it's not like the cat existing or the fact that the cat's an alien. It's the fact that
They took a
Basically,
cheap route for it. I understand. Like I do get where you're coming from. It
yeah,
could
was
have been
cheap
done
as
a
shit.
lot
I didn't
better.
like it.
I wouldn't. I mean, it's not the word that I use, but yeah, I do. I mean, I get where you're coming from. I really do. I mean, looking back, especially now after the movie, after seeing certain scenes in Winter Soldier, it made it feel like Nick Fury is a real badass. But
Like a
I
cop out.
also read it was also a cop up. But you guys, you got to remember something. Nick Fury has always had a flair for the overdramatic. Back in Avengers 1, painting fake blood on those trading cards when Coulson died, things
Mhm.
like that.
Right.
He likes telling people what they want to hear.
Right.
So him telling Captain America back in the Winter Soldier, oh, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. It was just him telling Captain America what he wanted.
I mean, yeah, you gotta. I mean, I get that, and I'm on the side that I like.
So it is what it is.
We seem to have some connectivity issues with
Damn,
Ahmed.
fucking Ahmed.
You know what?
Cutting out.
Hold on. Give me a second.
All right.
Yeah.
But like, see, the thing is, the thing that I mentioned before about that was the fact that like, there's a reason why Nick Fury doesn't trust people. I feel like there was something that happened in his past that like made him not trust people.
Mhm.
And
Right.
I felt like him kind of like alluding to whatever happened in that small line that he had in Winter Soldier was like our like way to figure out
Tease.
why he is the way that he is. And
Okay.
they kind
It
of
doesn't have to
just
be.
squandered that by having him lose his eye to a cat for laughs. I thought it was really stupid. So
Like
that's just,
I
that's
said,
my
I see where I see where you're coming from, but like I said, just because he lost his eye with that route, that doesn't mean other stuff hasn't happened to him. We just maybe not. Maybe we won't see it. Maybe
Yeah.
we will. You never know.
Nick Fury solo movie 2025.
Back to
Hey,
the.
honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, Nick Fury could be 90. Marvel's gonna know how to de-age him
Exactly.
perfectly.
The de-aging technology on this movie is insanely good. Like, except for
I
Coulson.
Yeah, Coulson wasn't that great. His face kind of looked like it was like too smooth.
Exactly.
I feel
Yeah.
like all they did was
Too
edit out the wrinkles. It looked, bro. It looked smooth.
It looked
It
like
really
makeup.
did.
It just looked like makeup, like really heavy makeup.
No. It literally. I think they literally just took Coulson's face and took out the wrinkles on his forehead. You know, around his eyes, things like that. It felt like really unnatural.
Yeah, I feel like he could have used
But-
Clark Gregg as is, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly.
Wow.
Whoa, okay. Okay, time out, Hamid. Fix your internet.
Your shit's bad, homie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
And moving
Wait, hold
on.
on.
He's
Wait,
not.
what's wrong?
Hamid's
What's wrong with
fighting.
myself?
Hamid's fighting back. It's okay.
Your internet's making you you're making your voice super robotic.
Oops. That's clearly gonna be edited out.
Well, yeah, and it keeps
It keeps coming, man. We're trying.
Is
Here.
that better? Is that better?
Not entirely.
All right, let me try something else.
Oh god. All right, well let's move on to the next
Let's
topic.
move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to the next topic. I think we've talked about Captain Marvel.
I did want to get your opinion on the post credit scene, the very first post credit scene.
Oh yeah, I thought it was really cool because I'm pretty sure that's like an actual scene
See from Endgame,
Endgame,
right?
where it's Captain America, Black Widow, Bruce Banner, and Rhodey in the Avengers Tower, looking at the pager that Nick Fury used to call Captain Marvel at the end of the post credit scene of Infinity War. And they're talking about, you know, like the power source went out, and like, hey, we need to restart this to figure out what's on the other end of it.
How to reboot the battery.
And then, and then Black Widow's just like, you know, she was just like, Nick Fury had this for a reason, so we definitely need to get this thing going. And she turns around, Captain Marvel's standing right there, and she's like, "Where's Fury?"
And like
So
she's
I
wearing a
thought that was-
totally different costume. Her hair is different.
Yeah, I thought that was a super.
She
dope
got with
scene.
the times.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I feel like she got with the times. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
sure.
now we're in that fucking CW fucking leather suit that she had on in the first movie. I thought it was really cool. I mean, it doesn't really allude to much. I think a timeline-wise, that kind of makes things just a little bit easier to understand because we weren't sure if she would show up like years later after the decimation has happened. But no, like just based on the look of the Avengers that we see in there, like
This has
Steve
got to
has
be
his
from the
beard.
beginning of the movie.
Yeah, Steve still has his beard. Yeah,
Mhm.
Black Widow still has that short white hair. Like this is
I
literally,
think-
this probably takes place like the night after everything happens.
Right.
Not even. I honestly think this could be a few hours, like literally them flying out of Wakanda, going back to New York, and
Yeah.
that's basically what it is.
I think
honestly, like
The
I
night
said,
after, basically,
I was
that's it.
saying before, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the opening scene.
exactly
And-
like literally she said, "Where's Fury?" and then dun dun dun, dun like the intro comes in. I feel like this is the intro of the movie. This clearly has to happen within the first 5 minutes of the movie.
5
from the looks
minutes.
of it.
5 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I guess that's our overall thoughts. We went on for this for almost 45 minutes.
What?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
Wow.
There was
Yeah.
a lot to discuss. Man.
Yeah, and
A lot to
Hamid
discuss.
joined it at like the 30-minute mark, kind of. we got-
I apologize.
You're good for shitty internet.
Yeah, that too.
If you guys don't know, Hamid has Egypt Wi-Fi. Very.
He's got that Egypt Wi-Fi. That
I got
Cairo.
that heroic Wi-Fi.
The what?
The what?
Heroic.
The
You
Is
know,
that what it's
Pharaoh.
called?
Oh, Pharaoh. Oh man.
Oh man,
Come on, man. Come on.
you lost me. All right, let's move on to the next topic.
Next topic. James Gunn's possible Suicide Squad lineup revealed. Reports about the new and updated Suicide Squad lineup for James Gunn's relaunch of this franchise have emerged. Reports say the lineup would include Harley Quinn, Deadshot, who is now said to be recast with Idris Elba in the role, King Shark, Ratcatcher, Polka Dot Man, and Peacemaker. Word on the street is that Joel Kinnaman will not reprise his role as Rick Flag, and it's unknown if Viola Davis will return as Amanda Waller.
This is the general question. Why is it that DC can use certain properties now? I mean, wasn't Suicide Squad banned from being used on the Arrowverse because of the movie? Why is King Shark being used now? I just
I'm
wanted to
confused
understand
by
that
that
point
too.
before
I have no idea like where these.
Wasn't he literally? I'm not really keeping up with Flash anymore.
He was
but,
just on the Flash,
wasn't
yeah.
he was just on the Flash.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember reading something about him fighting Gorilla Grodd. Or something like that.
I think maybe it's like they can only use them in like certain spurts because
have
the
no idea.
Suicide Squad was actually on Arrow while they were filming Suicide Squad.
But what also doesn't make sense is that they
yeah.
have a Flash TV show while they were doing a Justice League, which featured the Flash character. So
No, that's normal. I mean, that was expected.
but
Obviously,
why does
Flash
that
is
have
a
to
core
apply for the
member of
villains too? Is what I was wondering. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's the
pretty
part.
convoluted.
But my thoughts on it. I feel like this is fantastic. I think this is James Gunn's ground zero. This is in national territory. He knows how to make, the Band of Misfits movie. He knows how to make the buddy buddy movie. People that have been outcast from society. He knows how to make them lovable.
Suicide
He did it during
Squad.
Guardians of
The only reason that a movie like Suicide Squad was made was in response to DC wanted a version of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's just brutally honest.
I would not disagree with that. I kind of agree with that, but I mean, I guess
The thing is, because the movie was nothing like Guardians.
Exactly, but they wanted it something. They wanted a Guardians of the Galaxy
Right.
type movie.
Yes, I would not disagree with that. But like I said, I feel like I said, this is James Gunn's ground zero. Like this is what he was technically born to do with superhero movies. He's a great director. I'm obviously really sad, at the fact that he isn't going for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because of the issue with Marvel. I'm not going to get into it.
Right.
And the fact that obviously Guardians 3 has been pushed back to 2022, if that,
It's
you know
true.
what I mean? I feel like that date is honestly just a placeholder. But I'm very confident that this Suicide Squad is going to be a lot better than the previous iteration of it.
Right.
I really like the members. I don't really know much about Polka Dot Man, Peacemaker, but I'm positive that he's gonna go deep into comic book lore to get it done. And I'm not really sure if he's directing yet. I know he's definitely
He
writing.
is. It
He
was
directing.
it was
He is
confirmed.
directing it? Okay, all right. So I feel like he's gonna do like wonders with the movie. And DC is actually it's looking good. I mean. They started focusing on the solo movies. I thought Aquaman was fantastic. Shazam is looking really good so far. I feel like this is a really good move for DC, hiring James Gunn and James Gunn, taking over and, putting his flair into the movie. So I'm very, very confident that he's going to know how to make a very good movie with those characters.
Josh?
So, like, one of the coolest things about the Suicide Squad is that it contains characters that you've never heard of. Like Zane, do you know about Black Spider?
No.
You know who that is?
Nope.
Exactly. That is one of he was actually featured in one of these Suicide Squad animated movies. That's like it's just like that's just the Suicide Squad. I mean, yeah, of course they have big names like Harley, Deadshot, Deathstroke, King Shark.
I just know it's a rotating team because I just know they always change the roster. They changed the roster on the Avengers and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like Avengers. What?
No, you know what I mean. Like in the comics, like the roster of any superhero team changes.
Yeah, I mean, like, mind you, like, all of these villains are locked up in Bel Rev or in Arkham. Or something like that. So, I mean, all they do is just freaking pull them and be like, hey, you're a part of this team now. We need you to do something, blah, blah, blah. I actually don't know anything about Ratcatcher. I think including Polka Dot Man is an interesting choice because
it's James Gunn. He's gonna do something wondrous to it.
I feel like this is the closest I'm ever gonna get to seeing the Condiment King on live action. So I'll take it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Dude, you know what? If Howard the Duck can come into Guardians of the Galaxy in a quick cameo, Condiment King is gonna make a little like a cameo in this movie.
I certainly hope so because I love the Condiment King. And if you guys don't know, Condiment King was featured in a Batman the Animated Series episode where yes, he literally what his name says, he shoots condiments out of guns. He's got ketchup, mustard, mayo, and I'm pretty sure like now he has like sriracha and shit.
That man got stacked.
Yeah, no, he's stacked with the condiments and he's ready to roll, and I fucking love him. I think it's a very interesting lineup. I would have liked to see Deathstroke in there because you've got Joe Manganiello who's kind of just sitting there waiting for his time to put that mask back on and kick some ass. I would have loved to see him in there. There was a rumor going around that Killer Frost might show up at some point. I like Killer Frost. I think she's a cool character. Seeing the dynamic between her and Harley would be cool. But I mean, it just sounds like a typical Suicide Squad lineup to me. Like, I'm not like super giddy about it. I'm not mad about it. It's just it seems like the Suicide Squad. So I'm just like, okay. I know people were like, "This is gonna be the worst thing ever." Polka Dot Man, what are they doing? I'm just like, if you read the comics, if you know this team, you know that like there's some really obscure and wacky
choices.
characters on this roster.
Yeah, but
and that's exactly what James Gunn's doing with this movie, and I think it's kind of cool.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm down for it. You know, whatever.
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to the movie.
I really like this roster, especially with the inclusion of King Shark, because a few like I don't know if you guys heard, but like during the I think it was probably doing press for the first Suicide Squad. I don't know who said it, but they said, yeah, it'd be really impractical to have King Shark on the team. Would probably never do it. 2 years later, James Gunn's putting King Shark into a Suicide Squad movie.
It's funny because during the actual, I guess during pre-production for Suicide Squad, they actually had concept art for King Shark, and he looks like a dad. He's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt,
Right.
and he's wearing like some shorts, and he's just chilling. Like I give me Dad King Shark, give me vacation Dad King Shark.
And look, out of and with any other director or writer with this job that would have Polka Dot Man and King Shark in their hands, a lot of people would be questionable. Like, will be raising their like shoulders, like, what the hell? But it's James Gunn. He really embraces the weirdness, and you just love it. He made you give a shit about a tree, for crying out loud. A tree. I'm sure he can make
Still does, technically.
Yeah, he still does.
It was great, yeah.
Yeah,
I think one of the reasons why people are so quick to jump on this thing is because of the whole history with James Gunn, and I totally understand that. I have my own personal opinion on it,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure it's something that people who know me know. Like, whatever happened with him in Marvel, like, I don't, I'm sorry, whatever happened with him that caused Marvel to fire him, like, I think it was a justifiable thing, but obviously I'm not going to get into reasons why. But like, I think that's the main reason why people are so quick to judge any kind of decision with this movie.
Mhm.
Is
Right.
they're like, oh, this guy, we already don't like him, so we're not going to like anything that he puts out.
right.
He could have put, freaking Batman's gonna cameo, or we're gonna include Deathstroke, or there's gonna be or Joker or something like that. People still would have bitched and complained,
Right.
because they don't like James Gunn. But
Mhm.
I mean, if you look at the roster itself and you think about the actual Suicide Squad, I think it fits. That's literally, like I said, that's what the Suicide Squad is. They're a band of misfits. They're a band of outcasts, criminals, villains, bad guys that go out and go on suicide missions. And it, like Polka Dot Man, like his polka dots, he can take them off him and throw them. They're bombs. Like, that's cool as shit. I want to see what that looks like on screen. That's gonna be awesome.
And James Gunn's gonna be the one to just knock it out of the park. So we all agree that this lineup is pretty cool. Oh, and something that got just quick thoughts. It seems like Idris Elba is, I don't know if it's not confirmed or anything, but he's in talks to replace Will Smith. Are we cool with that, or?
I'm okay with it, but the main thing that I want back for this movie, Viola Davis has to be back.
Mhm.
Viola Davis has to be back. Amanda Waller without the Suicide Squad is not that great. I felt like she was fantastic in the first movie. I honestly, I would be really bummed if she wasn't back for the sequel.
Right.
For continuity reasons, I think it'd be wise to bring back Viola Davis.
I think they'll bring back Amanda Waller, but again, anybody's expendable. I mean, Will Smith was literally recast. I feel like if they bring back Amanda Waller, it could be Viola Davis, but I wouldn't be surprised if they recasted the role, to be honest.
Well, the thing is Will Smith didn't want to do the first Suicide Squad. The only reason why he did was because Margot Robbie hounded him because she wanted to work with him again.
Exactly, yeah.
Only reason why he took the job.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe Viola Davis she's getting a lot of work now, thankfully. Good for her. And maybe she wouldn't want to come back to Suicide Squad, so Warner Bros. Would be like, okay, let's recast. And I feel like that will be that's probably what's going to happen. They're going to recast rather than Viola coming back. So that's just
if that's the case, just cast C.H. Ponder. She voices Amanda Waller in the animated series, Justice League, all that stuff.
I love how they offered the role of Amanda Waller to Oprah before they did it to Viola Davis.
I would have been.
I
don't want Oprah in no damn DC movie. Get the hell out of here.
I honestly wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind either. She's a
She's
good actress.
Oprah?
No, she's actually a really good actress. I don't know if you've seen her in any.
No,
of
she is.
Oprah,
I'm just saying she also does look like Amanda Waller.
She does.
I don't want her. No.
All right.
Fuck off, Oprah.
All right. So next topic. This is our final story before we take some fan questions. So last episode, Josh and I discussed about the.
I forgot about this topic.
Josh and I kind of discussed the possibility of the Snyder Cut happening, and we kind of both agree.
Oh God.
Yeah, we kind of both agreed it's not going to happen, and the interest kind of dropped. Well, a couple days after that episode, Zack Snyder announced that he's going to be hosting an event. He's going to be hosting an event. I think next week or something like that. It's a weekend of him showing off all his director cuts, which includes Watchmen, Dawn of the Dead, and Batman vs Superman. And speculation has sort of arose because last episode we talked. The whole thing that came up was that his son said good things are coming soon in response to the Snyder Cut and all that. And a weekend that is literally dedicated to Zack Snyder's director's cuts. Does it seem out of the realm of possibility that it happens?
He would need to get
During
permission from
that
Warner
event?
Brothers.
Hold on. During the event? No, definitely not.
No, like at least
He
an
would-
announcement.
Maybe. Like I said, he would have to get permission from Warner Brothers because all that stuff is under lock and key in the Warner Brothers vault.
Right.
And unless they give him permission, then there is nothing. Maybe he can talk about it. Maybe depends on how the contract, with how his contract is set up when it comes to him being able to discuss things.
He could.
that have happened in
He's
the
good at.
past.
He's discussed it on social media. So.
I mean, he's not really said much. I mean, he's only gave like little hints. He hasn't like sat in front of an audience and spoken about it.
Right.
And I mean, if by some work of God that he either announces the Snyder Cut or he shows it, like that's gonna be super fucking cool. Like I said, in our previous episode, I will be the first person in line to watch that. I would pay money to see it, but the likelihood of that happening is extremely slim. Now, mind you, anything can happen, but I don't see it happening. I just don't.
But here's the thing. He knows that this is also a Q&A event too. He knows it, and
Everyone knows every single question.
Every single question is going to be about the Snyder Cut. He knows that.
Exactly.
He knows that 100%.
He's prepared.
He's prepared, and I don't know. Like, he has to know that literally 99% of the questions and all the headlines are going to like be everything about the Justice League Snyder Cut or whatever. He knows this, and everybody that's going to be at this event knows that. They have their questions ready. They have their pitchforks ready. If he says no, it's not happening. This. He knows this. Like, so.
Or he can just straight up be like, "Yeah, I'm not taking any questions regarding that."
I mean, but someone's going to bring it up.
That's also an option. Okay, but if he could literally just end the event right there if someone asks some question about
Yeah,
the
he was just like, "Yeah, I said, I'm not going to answer anything about that." That's literally it.
That's true, but like even like off camera and all that, I don't know if this is. Does anybody know if this is being filmed or whatever? Like,
I guarantee someone's going to film it.
Right.
Of course.
Okay.
Someone's going to be on Periscope or IG Live, and they're going to have their phones, and they're going to be taping the Q&A and stuff like that.
Right.
So
even if it does get released, and I really hope it does because I'm really eager to see his vision on the movie. Does it really matter? Like
at this point, no, it doesn't.
No,
it
because
doesn't.
They're going in a completely different direction.
It's just we've seen so much toxicity from the comic book community with the whole hashtag release the Snyder Cut. People pretty much attacking Zack on the Vero or whatever it's called, and
Attacking
on Twitter
Warner
or
Brothers.
whatever it's.
Mhm.
And
It's gotten way out of
Warner Brothers
control.
pretty much boycotting. People have gotten to the point where they've boycotted Aquaman. People are planning to boycott Shazam just because they haven't released a certain cut of a movie. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. And for Warner Brothers to technically release a Snyder Cut, in collaboration with Zack Snyder, at this moment, it would literally just be like, them saying, "Here, just take it, just shut up." You know what I mean? It would literally just be telling people to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't think it matters that much as of now. If it does end up getting released, I would definitely watch it because I'm very eager to see his vision.
Right.
Will it be better than the cut that we saw in theaters? Maybe, maybe not.
We don't know.
Most likely.
I mean, we don't.
Okay, most likely. Okay, I know. It was a heavily criticized film. I don't think it deserves a lot of the slack that people are giving it. I don't think it deserves a lot of the criticism, but yeah, I mean, obviously Zack Snyder's vision is going to be a little bit better than what we saw.
Mhm.
I
Right.
agree with that.
But you know,
But just like I said, it's 2019, man. This movie was back in 2017. There's new things coming out. Aquaman is enjoying a lot of success. There's been a freaking sequel confirmed and a
Mhm.
possible spin-off movie.
right.
Shazam is looking great. Everyone's literally begging for the trailers. The last trailer that came out was fantastic.
Mhm.
There's new things coming out. Obviously, like we were just talking about the Suicide Squad movie. Does it really matter?
Exactly.
We're not going to see any team up movies for a while. Why is everyone making such a big deal out of it right now?
Mhm.
Back then, yes, I understand, but it's been 2 years.
It's been. I think it's been. Yeah, you're right. 2 years too late. Kind of. That's how I feel about it. But
Agreed.
yeah. So, do we? If you, I just want to throw this out there. If it ever does get announced, do you think it would be at this event? Yes or no?
Yes, because I don't see any other way it would get announced.
Right.
They can't do it at Comic Con.
Yes, I agree. I think so, yes.
All right. Well, that's our main topics for the day. But we do have time to take your questions. So, Josh, fire them up.
All right, so this question comes from Briscoe234. What is up with every one of these fucking numbers? He says, "What new superhero show should the CW add after Arrow's cancellation?"
Ooh.
I will.
Batgirl.
If you, who?
Batwoman. Ruby
Batwoman.
Rose is Batwoman.
They're
already making
doing
that. She's talking about like a new show, like something that's not in the works.
Oh, like new, like after Arrow.
Yeah. Oh, this is what I think, because there have been nods to this character in Arrow specifically. The Question. I think they should do a show on The Question. If you want to have like another dark noir style detective superhero, just go with The Question. They mentioned the city that The Question is from. I think it's particularly the Vic Sage version of The Question, and I forget what the place is called. Hold up. I think it's like it's not Fawcett City. I know that's not it.
Star City? Oh, no, Star City. What's it called?
City.
Crap!
I can't believe I don't remember this. Hub City. There we go.
Hub City.
Yeah.
Oliver Queen literally mentions by name Hub City.
Mm-hmm.
And then why would they do that if there's nothing there of importance? So I feel like if you're gonna do another show, you're gonna do another superhero show, have another dark, mysterious character. I mean, of course you have Batwoman, but if you want to have a show that's kind of, I don't know, kind of has the same kind of flavor as Arrow, just do The Question. And plus, The Question is one of my favorite characters. He's super cool. He's actually inspired by Rorschach from Watchmen. So I think do it. That's my pick.
Ahmed?
I'm not really sure. I mean, honestly, I kind of stopped keeping up with the Arrowverse a couple years ago. Not even a couple years ago. Up until last season, I was watching The Flash. Same with Arrow, I guess. Legends of Tomorrow. I'm not really sure if they should add anyone. I feel like the Batwoman series is really good.
Go.
I feel like I think it's a very solid thing to keep going on, and just to keep building towards that shared universe. I'm not really sure who they could put. Flipping through my mind, I'm not really sure. I feel like maybe a Deathstroke show wouldn't be that bad, considering the Arrow versus Deathstroke was
pretty damn good.
He's really good. He's great. I really like the actor. I think his name is Manu Bennett, right?
Yeah, Manu Bennett.
I've actually met him. He's a super nice guy.
Oh damn.
He seems like a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like maybe like a Gotham-ish kind of show for him. That would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like a prequel vibe kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, that's a cool idea, but I don't see how a Deathstroke show could be sustained over multiple seasons. Like a miniseries, sure, but like a sustained 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons like Arrow. Like I don't see how there could be enough material there for a Deathstroke show. I would love to see something like that, but you never know.
Yeah, I have to agree with Ahmed. Probably the future is Batwoman, and I'm hoping it's a successful show. I have some lukewarm thoughts on the the crossover that just happened with her in it. I didn't hate her in it. I thought like this was supposed to be a Batwoman crossover, but she was in it for like one episode. I mean, hoping she's an awesome character. I like the actress in the role. Hoping to crush it, and hopefully she takes the spot.
Her costume was great.
Yeah, her costume is pretty good. I like
Yeah,
it.
Her
A lot.
costume was actually really good for a TV budget. It was actually a really good costume.
Right.
Yeah.
All
All right, next question comes from parkour_Gutierrez, and they say, "Are you as nervous about the Batman actor shortlist as I am?" Now, I think that the list has already been debunked,
Yeah.
but we can go ahead and go through the list anyway, just to see if there's anyone there that actually.
I didn't read the list
interest.
because I saw I guess that came out early in the day, and then later in the day it got debunked. So by the time I saw the headline, these are the actors, and then literally the next thing that came up was it's debunked. So I didn't get to see
so
the short list.
Yeah, so the actors on the short list are Jack Rayner, Alexander Ludwig, Jack O'Connell, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Nicholas Hoult. Now the
Aaron
two
Taylor
most
Johnson.
notable the two most notable names on this list are of course Aaron Taylor Johnson, Nicholas Hoult. Aaron Taylor Johnson also he played Kick-Ass in the Kick-Ass movies, and he also played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. And then Nicholas Hoult, he plays Beast in the
X-Men.
new X-Men movies.
Right.
The other guys, I know Alexander Ludwig, Jesus, he is currently on Vikings on the History Channel with Catherine Winnick, which is who everyone wanted as Black Canary, myself included. I don't really know who Jack O'Connell is. The name sounds super familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently he's on a show called Godless, but he's also 5'8". I'm taller than him by like an inch. So like I mean, of course with movie magic you can make anyone look,
Taller.
You can make anything
Taller.
happen. I
Yeah.
mean, how tall is Robert Downey Jr.? You know what I mean? I heard he was pretty short, and
Yeah.
they make him taller in the movies.
Yeah.
It's not about height. It's just literally about acting chops.
And physique
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, I don't honestly. I would not want to see anyone on this list as Batman.
I mean, just
I
put
agree.
any great actor or any good actor for the role. I mean, I don't care who they get as long as it's a good actor.
Just don't get Robert Pattinson. I'm not with that shit.
I'm fine with it, dude.
I'm not.
Are you really fine with it?
Dude, okay? Do you know anything else that Robert Pattinson has done outside of Twilight?
Yes.
Have
I
you
have. Okay, and I've seen his other movies, and he's a fantastic actor. Does that mean I want his?
Did we lose Hamid again?
I think so.
No, I'm good. I'm
okay.
good. Like I was saying, I've seen his other movies, and yes, he's a great actor. Does that mean I want him as Batman? Hell no.
I know. I'm
He
just
doesn't
saying.
have you have to have a particular look.
I was just saying he'd be fine for it. I'd be fine with it if they cast him. He's not my first choice.
No, he'd be fine as an extra in the movie.
True. Facts.
All right, next question.
Oh crap! I totally didn't think of another question. All right, here we go. What was your least favorite moment from Captain Marvel?
Oof.
Oof.
I've already said mine. The stupid cat scratching out Nick Fury's eye, so that's mine. Fuck the cat.
Least favorite moment. Again, probably those first 20 minutes because they are very wonky, very wonky. I don't know if it was the editing or if it was just everything was moving too quickly. It was it was too choppy. I just thought the beginning was so just wonky and wobbly. Like right when she got to Earth for me, right when she got to Earth for me is like when the movie started to pick back up.
That would make sense.
Mhm.
My least favorite moment, even though it wasn't a bad moment, but my least favorite moment was when I basically found out that the Skrulls were, not
Just
really
refugees.
bad. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, I was literally, I remember being in the theater saying like, no, like I'm literally saying out loud, I'm like, no, what are you guys doing? Please stop. There's going to be no Secret Invasion movie now.
Oh
well. We'll see. I think it's still gonna happen. Just give it time.
I'm not saying it won't, but like I said, I still would prefer, they go the traditional route for it. Like it just doesn't make sense. How do you transition over from refugee to invader?
I mean, time and great writers can make a difference.
I guess, but they would have to be really, really, really good, great writers for me to be convinced.
I mean,
Especially for if and one thing, it needs to make sense.
mhm.
There needs to be
Oh yeah,
a
of
valid.
course.
There needs to be a valid reason, uh, reason for them to want to essentially switch sides. You know,
And I'm
like
sure.
like how like it's weird kind of going from, oh, we're just looking for a home to we're gonna freaking kill you or some shit. You know, like it's a very drastic change for anyone.
Right.
So of course, anything can happen, and and I do have faith that Marvel could actually pull it off and make it make sense.
Mhm.
But as of right now, as of today, like I don't see how they could pull it off. So we'll see what happens.
Here's the Captain Marvel 2.
Mm.
Next
All right,
question.
Next question comes from introducing the hard line. And say, which Marvel movie do you like? So I'm guessing they're asking, what's your favorite Marvel movie?
What's my favorite, or what's my number one?
Is it Marvel Cinematic Universe or just Marvel in general?
I'm guessing it's MCU.
All right.
So,
Well, I mean, my favorite Marvel movie is in the MCU, so I'll let you guys go ahead first.
Wow, that's a bold take. Also,
wait,
wait,
really?
what is your favorite?
Infinity War.
Oh no, I thought you said it was outside of the cinematic.
Yeah.
Oh no! I said inside. I said my favorite Marvel movie
Oh,
is
all right.
in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, anyways.
Oh yeah, no, Ahmed, I heard the exact same thing. Yeah, no, I have to agree.
Sorry
with you.
about that. I
Infinity
may
War
have
is
said
my-
it. I may have said it, but my bad.
My number one movie in the MCU, yes, it is Infinity War, but it's not my favorite.
Is your favorite? Your favorite
My
is Winter
favorite.
Soldier, right?
Nope. Believe it or not, my favorite is Doctor Strange.
Really?
I love Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is a really, really good character, and Benedict Cumberbatch is a really great actor. I thought the movie was so good.
Mhm.
Like, I thought the movie was so good. I deeply enjoyed it, and I don't want to say that it's my favorite because I think Infinity War takes that spot, but I think I would definitely put Doctor Strange in my top 5.
Damn.
Doctor Strange, I really, really like the character.
I really
I
like
actually-
that.
I always
He's
wanted-
my favorite.
I always wanted Benedict Cumberbatch to play Brainiac. I thought he would have been a brilliant Brainiac.
That wouldn't have been bad at all, actually.
So like, having him as Doctor, I love him as Doctor Strange, but like, I'm
Yeah.
just like, damn.
But
Just
he's
the potential of him playing, because I mean, he played Khan in Star Trek, and
Right.
like just that portrayal,
Mhm.
I was just like, if you take that and like you transfer that same kind of acting ability, that same grit, everything about that character, and make that Brainiac, boy, that would have been phenomenal. But I liked him as Doctor Strange. So
right. And what's your favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, Josh?
yeah, I already said.
No.
Infinity War.
Yeah, I've always seen. Like I was just saying. I've always seen Idris Elba as a good Brainiac. Like I don't really see anybody else in that role. I think he would be
Really?
fantastic in that role. I mean, if you think about it, he has the physical looks for it. He has that villainish vibe. Like he can be a really good villain.
That's
Yeah,
actually one of the main reasons why I'm not like super like excited about the possibility of him playing Deadshot, because I feel like he's too good of an actor for that role.
Exactly. There's a lot more things that he could do, especially at DC.
Right.
Like
Especially at DC.
let's think of him as Darkseid or something like that. Like
That
He would have
be
been
good.
great.
That would be-
Yeah, he would have been great as Darkseid.
dang, dude, like really Deadshot. Like, I mean, like whatever. Like if he's in the DCEU, I'll be happy because Idris Elba is a fantastic actor.
Mhm.
He's one of my favorites. I really wanted to play James Bond at some point. I think he'd do a fantastic job at that.
Right.
But I mean, I just feel like there are better DC roles out there for him to tackle, other than
Then Deadshot. Oh yeah, of course.
All right, next question.
Let's see. This one comes from Joseph_A. He says, "Are Jeremy Irons and J.K. Simmons going to be recast because of the new Batman trilogy?" I'm
I gotta say yes. I think.
I don't know. It all depends on whether
Jeremy
or not,
Irons, yes.
It all depends on whether or not, like, oh, of course, yeah, no, I think Jeremy Irons might get recast because it's a younger Batman, so he's gonna need a
Mhm.
slightly younger
Mhm.
Alfred to go alongside him.
Yeah.
But
I think you're gonna recast J.K. Simmons too. To be honest.
I hope not. He's so good as Jim Gordon. I mean, obviously, we got like that super small scene of him in the movie,
Right.
and then apparently in Zack Snyder's version of the film, he has a slightly bigger role.
But it was never that big to begin with, anyways.
It was. Yeah, he was definitely a supporting. He was a supporting actor. He was a supporting character in Zack Snyder's version of the movie. But I would be really bummed to see. I think I'd be more bummed to see Jeremy Irons get recast than I would J.K. Simmons.
Right. I really dug Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I really dug it.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons is solid, man. Like, he's a solid actor. He has that Alfred vibe. He has like that kind of feistiness that I feel like a lot of the live action Alfreds kind of missed. I mean, Michael Caine was brilliant as Alfred, and I'm not trying to knock that portrayal in any way, shape, or form, but like seeing a different version of Alfred, one that was in the military, who kind of has some grit to him, who has, who isn't afraid to kind of like talk back. He was basically Batman's right hand man in BVS and Justice League. He was building stuff. He was helping out with the Batwing. He was controlling the Batwing. I love seeing like a Alfred who's hands on. I think it's really cool. So like to lose that in a new trilogy with a different Batman, like that would be kind of sad, because I feel like when you're introducing a new character that technically already exists in this universe, I feel like you need something in that film that's at least familiar to the audience, and I feel like Alfred could be that. Jeremy Irons' Alfred could be that kind of anchor, so it feels at least a little bit familiar. Of course, it's a different Batman, but it also help it seem a lot more connected to the DCEU, because right now we don't really know what the timeline is, where characters are, where they're going, like where they've been. It's just kind of all over the place, and I feel like just including Alfred in like Jeremy Irons' Alfred could help, like, I don't know, piece things together just a little bit.
I think though, if you're gonna recast Ben Affleck and if you're going younger, then I think everybody's kind of gonna get recast, probably.
I mean, Jeremy Irons, yes. J.K. Simmons, I feel like he should stay on. I thought he was really good in his role. And if we're going to talk about de-aging, honestly, they could just literally recolor his mustache.
Probably.
That's just about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be good enough.
Yeah. Just cut the mustache off in general, because facial hair adds
this could be pre-mustache Jim Gordon, it could be. But yeah, Jeremy Irons, obviously, yes, it's a must for him to be recast. I don't really see a younger version of him in the movie, in the new trilogy for Matt Reeves. But J.K. Simmons is really good in his role, albeit that we saw him for like maybe 5 minutes,
barely,
like, maybe even less. Yeah, probably even. But I really enjoyed him in the role. He has the looks, and obviously J.K. Simmons is a fantastic actor.
All right, let's take 2 more questions.
All right, so this one comes from the Travis T. He says, would you say that Captain Marvel is more serious like Civil War or goofy like Ant-Man? I would like put it somewhere like in the middle. Honestly.
I'm going to say Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's very extreme. Those are very 2 extreme options. I would probably say Guardians of the Galaxy too. Yeah, same.
See, okay, so like why do you like compare those 2 movies? Like I don't see it. I don't see the Guardians. I don't feel a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe.
It's just the vibe. It's just like the feel, the comedy, the music, like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Those music choices were shit.
The color,
aliens. The alien, yeah, the space opera feel. What is it? I really had a good point on it. Guardians of the Galaxy very much had like full of 80s quote unquote nostalgia. This was leaned heavily on 90s nostalgia. So there was like a lot of those factors at play, and just like, some of the wackiness of Guardians of the Galaxy I felt was pretty much present here.
Same.
Yeah.
All right, well, all of the other questions are literally just about Captain Marvel, and like we've already touched
Is there a non-Captain Marvel question?
Yeah. One last question.
We can take one more.
Yeah.
This one just says Doctor Strange or Doctor Fate. That comes from Barrios11. I'm gonna say Doctor Fate just because I think Doctor Fate is just badass.
In terms of what though?
Like powers or characters, or who'd win in a fight?
I'm probably
who would win in a fight? Probably Doctor Fate. I'm gonna go ahead and say Doctor Fate. Even though as much as I love Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate he's OP, dude.
He's on a different level, man.
Yeah, man. He's up there.
Actually,
they both use magic and mysticism as like their powers, but
hold up. I actually want to backtrack a little bit. Somebody, I guess, asked about what CW show we like to see. I want to see a CW show on Doctor Fate because I think we need some Doctor Fate.
That would
Oh,
be
God.
CG heavy. I mean, I'd love that.
Yeah,
The thing is
but
technically
on a TV budget though.
Yeah. Technically, Doctor Fate does exist in the CW Arrowverse because in the first episode of Constantine, when Constantine goes down to his lair, you see the Doctor Fate helmet sitting on his shelf.
Right. And to be fair, a lot of people said you can't do the Flash on that budget. You know, I think it works for the Flash, and I think it could certainly work for Doctor Fate.
Rubber Flash, you like that?
I mean, you just gotta like look at the realistic. Look, it's not a very
Honestly,
budget.
the CG on this was really questionable.
Yeah, but like, it's just a matter of if you like the story, and I really like the story of the Flash. At least season 1, 2, and 4. I haven't really caught up on this past season, but if you could tell a good story with the character, you could overlook some CGI, and I feel like the costume doesn't have to be rubbery or anything like that.
See, the thing about that though is, at least I can only speak from my personal experience. If I'm invested in a story and I see some bad CG, it takes me out of it because I realize that it's bad CG. Like I like it just like just take Infinity War for example. Would Infinity War still be as good as a film if Thanos looked like absolutely dog shit every single time he was on screen?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean you're right,
Yeah,
but like
not.
if you use the CG like Legends of Tomorrow CGI is actually pretty good, and I don't know what it is, but the CGI in Legends of Tomorrow is actually I'd consider really good. But the Flash is on and off sometimes on their CGI, so I don't know how the CGI on Legends of Tomorrow could be better than something like a Flash per se.
I mean, you can definitely do like, you can definitely have really good CG on a show. I mean, like look at Doom Patrol for example. Doom Patrol has phenomenal CG for a television show.
I've seen some effects.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers because I haven't started yet. The Titan CGI looked pretty good. And I think the small clips I've seen, it looks okay. For Titans, it looked okay, but the clips I've seen of Doom,
Titans was good. Titans was good. Dude. Don't deny it.
The CGI.
There were a couple of sequences where like they were fighting and you see like the CG blood and it looks like butt. It looked like straight cheeks.
CGI blood is always pretty wonky, but yeah, Beast Boy looks pretty great.
Yeah, no, Beast Boy.
He was great.
Yeah, Beast Boy looks really good.
And there's a little bit of CGI on Cyborg and Doom Patrol, but the CGI from the clips I've seen on Doom Patrol look pretty damn good. So
actually, dude, Cyborg's entire look is all practical, surprisingly.
I mean, there's got to be some like very minimal like you don't even notice. There's got to be something.
No, because they've actually actually had like some like images that came out with him on set. Like no, like his look, like his eye, like his chest, everything. That's all practical. Those are all practical effects.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but even the effects on that show are pretty damn great, and I feel like a Doctor Fate show could work. Maybe not on CW or hopefully DC Universe or whatever.
I was just about to say, I'm like, if you're not going to do a Doctor Fate show on the CW, which I would not want it there, just do it on the DC Universe because that will be super epic. But the thing about it is, like, the DC Universe might be ending soon and just merging with Warner Media, which is coming out. Which is a little depressing, but I mean, whatever. We're still getting DC shows.
Again, going off topic, they didn't really market DC Universe. To be fair, like you saw nothing. Like
I saw it everywhere.
I mean, there's no.
Saw it too, honestly.
There's no. I didn't see any commercials for it. I just felt like it kind of dropped, just like here. Like
I think they handled the release poorly. Like it's still only in the U.S. I think that was a poor decision. I think they should have.
Yeah,
I think that was a terrible decision. People are not going to go ahead and pay for another streaming service after Netflix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
I mean it's either Netflix or Hulu. Adding a third one and potentially even a fourth one with Disney Plus coming. That's just weird, man. That's just a questionable move.
Yeah. Apparently, Disney Plus is going to be mad expensive.
No, it is. It's going to be cheaper than Netflix, is what they're saying. That's what Bob Iger said.
It's going to be cheaper than Netflix, but like, look at the content that you're going to be getting. They're going to say they're adding ESPN Plus on there. That's like a major sports thing for people.
And they're adding their entire Disney film library, like from like the vault stuff, like the old stuff and everything.
I'd only subscribe for the Mandalorian. I just want to see that.
I'm excited for all the other stuff that's coming out to the original content they're pushing. It's going to be great. But we went a little off topic.
I don't give a rat's ass about that dumbass Loki spinoff solo show.
Watch your mouth and talk about Loki correctly, bro.
Bro, yeah, I know. Fuck Loki. It's going to be
Put some
stupid
respect
ass
on that
show.
name.
That's gonna be a
It's
stupid ass
not.
show. I'll watch the
It's really
Rocket
not, though.
Raccoon and Groot one. I'll watch Howard the Duck. Maybe.
Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Maybe.
Lady Sif.
No, I don't care. I don't care about the fucking Warriors 3 and their.
Oh, the Warriors 3 are dead. It's just Lady Sif. She's exiled.
I don't care
From
about
what
her,
I hear,
honestly.
these are
Yeah.
reports.
Only show I care about is The Mandalorian and
Cass-
Rocket Raccoon and Groot.
What about
and
Cassian Andor?
maybe if they
What about Scarlet Witch and Vision?
TBD.
Cassian
Wow.
Andor, the guy from Rogue One. They're making a show about
I don't
him.
give a shit about. I don't like Rogue One, so of course I'm not gonna watch that show.
Wow.
The only good thing about Rogue One is that Vader scene. That's it.
That's tough.
Sad
That's tough
face.
to say, man.
I'm dropping
Yeah.
dropping hot takes for
Sad-
days.
Sad face.
I don't give a crap.
You know, people
I'll
hate us
drop hot
already.
takes.
People hate us already for liking Captain Marvel, anyways.
Well.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
That will do it.
Triangle.
That will do it for the show. Josh, where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at DCU News. I'm always on there doing some weird stuff, posting music, and of course DC stuff, like the name suggests.
Mm-hmm.
You can find me on Twitter at Really Sharp. That is SHARPE. Not sharp like a knife, but I am sharp though.
You just destroyed it. I want to thank our guest, who is a writer for Media Byte, by the way. Big shout out, even if he joined a little bit late, but because he's on the other side of the
Better late
globe.
than never.
Better
Better
yeah,
late than never.
It's true. Major props for our guest, Hamed. Where can people find you on social media?
Thank you very much. You can look for me on Instagram and Twitter at sauce-based ham. It is sauce-based ham. Yeah.
I love that username, man.
Yeah.
Better than packing,
Yeah.
bro. I'll tell you that much.
Ooh.
Shut up, really sharp.
Boom.
That's tough. That is tough. Yeah,
Sharp
really
with an
sharp is
sharp with an E. You could find me at social
It's
media.
my last name. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You could find me on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram at PAKIBRUH, Packy Bruh. Still better than really sharp.
Not at all.
Any closing thoughts, closing remarks?
Crazy James
Yeah,
Bay. I
really
will say
sharp
it every
sounds like
single
a
week.
caution sign.
Does I say that again? I know what Josh said.
Really sharp sounds like a caution sign.
Sounds like what?
a caution sign.
Like a caution sign. Like people literally should avoid you.
Oh,
Really
like
sharp.
hey, I'm like, hey, watch out. That boy's really sharp. So
Yeah.
That was our show for today, guys. And until next time, peace.
deuces.